Okay, so this is my first ever video for EdExcel, and we're doing resource management. And today's lesson is on capacity utilization. If you can remember in class, we very quickly went through job, batch, flow, and cell production. One of the students asked about cell production. We've also talked briefly about efficiency, productivity, outputs divided by input, a key measure. The UK right now suffers from very low productivity. Then we talk about unit costs and idle resources. We also had a very brief look at economies and diseconomies of scale, and we want to achieve economies of scale. Diseconomies of scale are things like coordination, communication, and motivation. We talked about what is the ideal size of a school, maybe 800, 900, maybe 1,100, certainly not 2,000, certainly not 70,000 in India. Labour intensive, capital intensive, spend a tiny bit of time on that. But really what we're doing today is looking at capacity utilisation, and the equation is current output divided by maximum output times 100. We also had a quick look at just in time, and I spoke about, right now it's with Brexit, it's just in case. I also spoke about the Gigafactory with Elon Musk. They produce 500,000 cars a year. That is the world's largest producing factory. We also spoke about two great stories, Bethlehem Alamu, but we also looked at those Irish rowers, really cool guys. Elon Musk, Gigafactory, and we'll have a look at Jimmy Shark at some stage as well. And also quality. So this is the whole of the syllabus for resource management, which is in booklet 2. And if you do all these things, then you will become internationally competitive. Okay, so we move on. Theme 2, booklet 1 was about the numbers, remember all of that. Booklet 2 is about resource management, and booklet 3, which I'll write at half term, is about external influences. Okay. So this one here, numbers, is about income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. Do you remember doing this? So an income statement is that, sorry, we got this bit wrong here, didn't we? But sales, or I got it wrong, sales minus variable cost, gross profit minus expenses is equal to operating profit. How do you increase your profits? Decrease expenses, decrease variable costs maybe, or try and increase your sales revenue, or raising the price or something like that. Then we take off the interest, and then we get net profits. Gross profit margin, gross profit divided by sales revenue times 100. Operating profit margin, operating profit divided by sales revenue times 100. And net profit margin is net profit divided by sales revenue times 100. Okay, good. Then we've got the balance sheet on here, which is how much a company's worth. We can get gearing here, and we can get liquidity. If we combine them both together, we can get that ratio called return on capital employed, which is operating profit divided by capital employed, which is shares and long-term loans. Okay, so we then looked at capacity utilisation, which is what we're talking about today. Capacity utilisation, e.g. the campsite has got 50 pitches. If each of those 50 pitches is used up, then we're at full capacity utilisation, obviously. The cost of capacity is dependent upon equipment, facilities, and also people. So if we have more room, we can have 100 pitches. But then we need more toilet blocks, and we need more people to run it. So those are the costs of capacity. E.g., if 40 people come along, there are 40 pitches taken up, and you have 50 pitches in total, that is a capacity utilisation, obviously, of 80%. 40 times 100 means the revenue that will come in will be £800. However, if you have all 50 used up, you'll get £1,000 a night. If it's open 180 days a year, then you'll be turning over £180,000. But on the previous profit statement, we were turning over £100,000. Right. It's important because it is a measure of productive efficiency. What is productive efficiency? It is simply the bottom bit of the ATC curve, right? It's minimising your costs. As you increase output, your average cost of production fall. If you get close to full capacity, then you'll get close to reducing your average total costs. And this is really important. If a business has very high fixed costs, then you need to have a high capacity of capacity utilisation. Because fundamentally, if you've got to, say, run a factory like Bethlehem Alamu's factory in Addis Ababa, if it's costing you £5 million to run a year, those are your fixed costs. And if you only sell one shoe a year, then your fixed cost per unit is £5 million. However, if you sell 1 million shoes and your fixed costs are 5 million, then your fixed cost per unit is obviously £5. So there's going to be a massive fall in average total cost if you can do that. Low level of CU is serious, okay? It's a serious problem. Why? If a business operates consistently at a low level of capacity utilisation, this is likely to innovate potentially serious, particularly if production and fixed costs are high and the business has a high break-even output. Sorry, I messed that up a bit. Okay, drawbacks of high capacity utilisation is Right, so if you've really high capacity utilisation, we spoke about this. Remember, one of the students here is a waitress. What's it like when your restaurant is full? Well, it is absolutely terrible because you're constantly under stress. Everybody's demanding a lot. Okay, so less time to maintain productive equipment. If it's a factory, employers become stressed, e.g. the waitress, or e.g. imagine if you work in Bethlehem Alarmers factory, you've got to produce 1 million shoes a year, then they will get stressed because they're constantly going to be under pressure. Customer service may fall. That may harm a firm's brand. A business is less likely to respond to sudden unexpected increases in demand. So you may not want 100% capacity utilisation for that very reason. You can increase capacity though. You can get people to work overtime. You can subcontract to someone else. However, can we be sure that the quality will be the same? Or we can spend the time reducing equipment. However, what happens if the equipment then breaks down in Bethlehem Alarmers factory? Then there is all hell to play for. Okay, so what we're trying to get on this is, I'm going to give you a question this week, is an A-star grade on capacity utilisation. I think it's on pages 10 to 12. An A-star grade on capacity utilisation, underlined again for some bizarre reason. And then we get an A-star grade on resource management, but to be able to do that, we need to do job batch flow, productive efficiency, productivity, and also just in time and everything else. And then an A-star grade on the numbers, an A-star grade on external influences, and then we're going to get an A-star grade on theme 2. Thank you, bye. Yes!